Sorry, just vibing to the music for a bit. Okay. And there we go. All right, brilliant. So, first of all, hello to Flowerport 1300. Nice to see that, somebody from that stream actually came back. And also, hi to Alvaro. All right, well, I mean, I think you've seen the description, so I'm pretty sure you all kind of know what we're doing today, but at the same time, I'll explain it anyway. All right. I'm also waiting for Aiden to show up because he said he wanted to be on call for this, but yeah, I didn't tell him it was like an hour early because I wanted to have enough time. Hi, Josh. I wanted to have enough time to do this properly, you see, so I gave myself an extra hour just in case, because I don't want to be up too late once again, because I also will get food later. So, yeah, all according to a plan. So, I'm just going to give people a little bit of a quick rundown here. So, first of all, I have an image to show everyone. So, this is Sophia, and Sophia is the first character that I ever made in Gachaverse. Which yeah, and actually did feature in my first ever video in Gachaverse, which came out 4 years ago. So yeah, that's what happened. So that's why, yeah, the design is somewhat questionable. See, people are already that's exactly the reaction that I would expect nowadays. Exactly. So yeah, needless to say, she's an example of the evolution. But the thing is, she was not just the first gacha character that I made. She was supposed to be the main character of the first gacha thing that I would do, which was, fittingly enough, meant to be a magical girl idea, which I came with that during while I was watching my friend one of my friends draw, and it was actually I was asking my friend Brandon from the Mayhem Sing of it in 2016. I was watching him draw and saw a bunch of characters and stuff, and I said, "Oh, we can make a comic book out of this, and make it some sort of superhero based thing," which we never actually did. So I thought, okay, well now I found this application thanks to Jay and Natasha. I'm going to try something. I never actually did, because as I was going through ideas and we kept on watching more and more gachas to see what would actually, catch people's attention, the idea of, instead of creating something just completely completely from scratch and just completely going through that idea, I would instead focus my efforts on doing something original, but also commenting on something existing, which is why I then made the character that appears right alongside her in this shot. And that, of course, the green one there is the first ever design of Frida, who is the character. If you've seen the musical season 3, she's the one who gets hit in the face with a volleyball. So she got reused. But yeah, she was actually the protagonist in that first video, which became a music video based on the concept of the hated girl that becomes a princess. But the twist, it was homecoming princess versus and she was hated because of her own actions and stuff. So the idea was to market something as being exactly the same, but then twist it to suit what was to suit the idea, to make it original. So you hook the people in and then offer them something new. That was my idea, and apparently she was like Kim from Disco Pop. So there you go, coincidence. So yeah, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna, the video actually got decent views on my channel at the time. It wasn't often that I ever crossed like the 100 view mark or something. It was like, okay, fine, I'll do something else. I'll you maybe use some of the people who are already in this one to give it a bit of a connected universe idea. And so actually, that is why I then made a follow-up music video featuring the character that appears alongside them here. And I think we all know who that is. So, needless to say, my initial thoughts of what I was going to do as a gacha tuber changed significantly from that first video, from the first couple of music videos, even the first concept. And weirdly enough, I love all the characters being lined up here in the very first video released. It's kind of indicative of that. But why am I telling everyone this? That is because, well, if you've seen the title of the video, we've been like ever since then. Of course, the Mutant Girl took on an identity of its own. Then it also became like the central focus for a bit of what was later going to become the Butterverse, which was a whole massive thing uniting a bunch of stuff from my channel and other people's into one collective universe. And some of the people like in the inner circle of our little company name place that we have called Buttercorp, some people in the inner circle were talking about doing a superhero series recently. In fact, Aiden proposed the idea. Then we started watching a bunch of our first animes, which all happened to be magical girl focused. Then the Halloween stream happened, and I found out that apparently something that you can do is actually that was an idea from Wipeout and Arena Fan 14, which was to have people write something with you on stream and then make it. And I didn't think of ever to do that because I always think about I'm always very protective of stuff I do and don't want to offer too many spoilers of stuff that I plan because I want people to actually watch it. But that show's been doing pretty well on its own anyway, so I think it actually makes sense. So we don't have to use Sophia, but I have actually rescued part of the script that I was going to make for that comic book, turned it into something new, and I thought we could continue it and actually make the series out of it. So yeah, that's all I'll do, and I will read chat in a second. I just want to get through that story. That's the hook of the video. I wanted to get through the story so then I can go ahead and read the chat, and I'll catch up then. So, and of course, obviously, this whole thing requires audience participation, so I'll be checking in the chat quite frequently at the same time as actually pulling up the script and ideas. So, okay, so let me just go back to the beginning. So yeah, first of all, hello to Riss. I'm glad that you actually came back here again. Oh yeah, I said the who's this already. I am reading the chat right now. I see there's a bunch of people talking about things. Her design is better. I don't know who's you're referring to, but if it was Frida, then yes. Honestly, that might be courtesy of Emily. I mean, quite honestly, maybe I've left a lot of the characters blank this time. Maybe some of you lot might want to design a character. You never know. Okay. So not a fan of the colors being the same as the eyes. Yeah, then don't watch a number of Aiden videos. That's what I will say to that. I'm kidding. Do still watch them. Right. And if you're wondering how Josh knows who you are, it's because I mentioned it when you last appeared on a stream of these. I mentioned who you were and how I actually knew you. Not how he met, actually, because that was another bizarre story. You can't remember the main girl's name, Morwenna. Whereas Shorty, I can try and summon Shorty, but they're actually kind of busy today with some law-related stuff. So maybe I can see if they're on. Let me just check. Okay, so once you're on your stream, if you're not doing law, then please consider joining. We're talking about magical spells. All right. And then I just send an invite and we will see if that works later. Only person to invite right now is Aiden. I'm surprised Ghosty might show up sometime later and start clawing to enter or something like that. That sometimes happens. Okay. Right. So we have that. Oh, you have to go to sleep to go to high school tomorrow. Yeah. So I know that you're like even an hour ahead of me. So I'm surprised you even if I'm surprised you're able to join these streams at all. To be honest. Okay. He and I were inspired by the series called the Super Pops make the Disco Pops and the Jazz Pops. That series is a bit unofficially discontinued. Oh yeah, that's right. Josh did mention that. In fact, I had it on my order because Josh actually like suggests a bunch of things to review. So I put them all on the list, including stuff that I find myself to go through on Gacha Review eventually. And yeah, I think I had it in the order of Super Pops, then Disco Pops, I think. And that was how to do that. Okay. Plus, the plot got really inconsistent, a million plot holes. See, that's what I worried about, like the improv-based style that you all went for. But I guess if it gets compiled into a script after the streams, then it makes sense as to how you manage all of this. Emily is confused. All right. Okay. By the way, Emily is the person responsible for salvaging the design of Frida, so relevant. Okay, and also the voice actor of Frida. Okay, what episodes am I even in? I don't know. Well, you're credited in all the ones that you appear in, so if you want to find out, then go ahead. I mean, obviously the starting point would be episode 1 because Kylie appears in that one first. Yeah. Then it kind of goes up until like 5 when she appears again, and then proceeding from that point, she's in every episode, season 1, and then 5 of 2. But yeah, you can find it out basically. I know that you don't voice Kylie in all those episodes, but the character is at least there. Okay, right. I think that clarifies everything. So in that case, what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you. Okay, the Super Pops will show by Totally TV. Oh, live action. There's a bunch of people doing different scripts and their own ideas. Yeah, that's not recommended. Let me just close down a couple of things because I immediately started lagging when the screen share came up. Okay, great. Okay, so yeah, I've left a couple of blanks here because I thought you lot might want to know want to like offer title suggestions and stuff because obviously we don't have to use Sophia. Part of the whole point is that you offer the input. So all I've done here is just salvage what was already written, and I think that might be used as like a stimulus, so we're not all just like throwing a bunch of ideas and having and having it be a complete and utter mess. So what I'm going to do right now is I can't see the chat for now, by the way, but I'm going to read just the way that I do the scripts. So yeah, so episode 1 will have a title somewhere, and let's begin. See how it builds up. Exterior shot of a science laboratory at night. A text box on the top left says the Asclepion 2081. Cut to the inside where we see Rylan Jr. By the way, I have to change the character's name. I can't have this be Rylan Jr. for reasons that's like behind the scenes Butterverse stuff. I have to fix that. So yeah, Rylan Jr., Marissa, Henry, and Wanda standing by a pool. All of them are dressed in lab coats. Rylan Jr. has his hands stretched out. Ready when you guys are, begin. Close up on Rylan Jr., doing this every time, with a face of intense concentration. Cut to a wider view as he shoots a gust of water out of his hands. The other scientists clap and cheer. We did it! It worked! My turn now. Close up on Marissa with a focused face. Cut to the same wider view as Rylan Jr. had before. Marissa has a hand outstretched like Rylan Jr. did, but nothing happens this time. The other scientists are in frame, confused and disappointed. But it was all there. Everything should have worked. Henry walks towards the door to the end of the room. We'll have to run the test from the beginning. Perhaps some other stimulus activates your ability, like a trigger of sorts. Scene 2. A corridor where all 4 scientists led by Henry are walking from left to right. A trigger? But Rylan was perfectly able to use his power without any trouble. Maybe I'm just awesome. Morris and Rylan. I'm serious, Rylan. We can't just have a fluke result. We've invested too much time and effort into this just to give up. A loud boom is heard. From the far end of the corridor, something has blown up, causing a bit of the ceiling to crumble. The scientists sprint to the end of the corridor, now a gaping hole to the outside. What in the world was that? We turned off everything. Fade to a wider view of the entire Asclepion, now with a massive hole in the side. Several planes or helicopters hover down near the premises. Cut to one of the helicopters from which the figure of a young emerges and looks down upon the target. They gesture to an attendant who hands them a javelin. We get one more shot of the Asclepion before cutting back to our first villain as they grin menacingly, aim the javelin at the camera, which is facing upwards, and the shot cuts. The intro plays. And that is where we come into the first character that I would like to ask all of you about. So what I thought of for this one was it's going to be one of the reoccurring villains. So, if right at the moment of this thing, they're a young hotshot, but you see we cut to 15 years later afterwards. So they will look slightly older. But they have they have the javelin, they have the commanding energy, and the javelin itself is supposed to have some sort of like imbued powers into them, something, magical about it. So yeah, that's the statement. So now I open up the floor for the first time. What are some people's ideas for our first villain? What do you think? Names, age, physicality, that kind of thing. In the meantime, I will go back to reading the chat. Let's see. Okay, so Super Pops, that was there. I didn't do her. I don't anyway. I did Beancia, have you spell her name. That is Bianca. So yeah, that's Bianca. All right. Oh, and this is back to talking about Super Pops. They're suddenly start making characters princesses for no reason, really. I'm fairly certain there are a couple of princess characters in Disco Pops, but I'm sure that they're better introduced, I suppose. I could call him Ryan instead. That is very true. Yeah, I can do a fine replace of Ryan Jr.'s name, Remember when you talked about Precure in the last stream? Maddie has a series on her gut channel called Precure Fairies. Okay. Who is Maddie? But that is good. That is good. I can put that on the list. And actually, yeah, the Magical Girl first animes we both watched, both for me and Shorty, were actually part of the Precure franchise. Like I happened to, for me, it was like the very first one, and then for them it was Glitter Force. So yeah, it just happened to be by coincidence. I was like, oh, okay, look, this is Into the Glitter Force. Never seen it before. Wait, it says Precure. Hold on a second. I said there's a connection here. So that's where that came from. So yeah, a lot of talk, and hopefully Shorty has not replied, so we will not be seeing Shorty for this stream, I don't think. The only person who's replied to any of the invites was actually Shiny talking about something completely irrelevant. So, that just sums up everything. Okay, so I guess, yeah, Precure Fairies. Why not? I mean, to be honest, could actually use that as a source of inspiration for this later. Okay. But I will put that on the list somewhere. This list is getting really long, by the way, just saying. Where to put, okay. Precure Angels, and that is on a channel by someone called Maddie. I don't know. We'll elaborate on that later. And you sound so different now. Well, I suppose, you're the difference from the pre-recorded stuff that you had for season 3 as well. Okay, hang on. Okay. Evil scientist from competitor lab. Well, I mean, yeah. Okay, here's the thing. The plan that I had for the villains, actually, this one thing I'll throw in, is that it's not like they could be compared to labs. Actually, that would work too. Now I think about it. My original idea was that it was like it was a group of a few dedicated magic users, maybe demigods, that that aren't particularly happy with the advancements that humans are making in the future. You know, acquiring more and more power. So people don't know, in the Butterverse, the Greek gods are completely canon. That's why you see a lot of them in Fallen Angels. Um, and in the past, even when Prometheus stole fire for us, and he was actually punished because that then became the source of basically almost every aspect of like mortal power from that point onwards was somehow tied back to the fire being brought to us. So, needless to say, they don't take kindly to that. And the javelin is actually a symbol of Athena. And Athena was one of the gods responsible for creating mortals and also trying to keep them in line. So, yeah, she wasn't very happy either. That's where that came from. So it could be compared to the lab, or it could be, um, or it could be someone who is a devotee of Athena, or possibly one of her offspring. Because again, demigods are an option. Um, I forgot to mention that because I'm still in like no spoiler mode, which I have to deactivate for this whole process. Okay, so Maddie is your friend, I see. All right. Um, okay. So her channels are Maddie's Dolls of Fairy Tales and Maddie's Gacha. I'm going to assume it's Maddie's Gacha, so I'm gonna. There we go. Maddie's Gacha. To be honest, if she's a friend of yours, then by all means, invite her to this. Love to. I would love to brainstorm with some more people. Okay. So I don't see any suggestions other than the scientist thing. So okay. So honestly, yeah. For right now, I'm looking for like a name, gender, possibly age. That kind of thing. Basically. And if anyone has me on Discord, then by all means, send me concept designs for people, and I can actually put them on stream for anyone to see, in case you're so inclined. I can see why the early designer Sophia would not give you as much confidence in my own work, for that matter. So yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Fair enough. So early 20s. All right. Good. Josh is going with the name Reese. So I'm going to guess we're also going with gender male for this character. Just because I don't know any female Reeses, or non-binary. I don't know. It depends. Again, up to all of you. Also, to anyone who's actually watched any of these streams before and has, gone on to Wipeout's Arena Fans channel, I imagine that this process runs a lot more smoothly over time once everything is kind of more set in stone. Which is also why I wrote this a little bit. I chose that before. Okay, so we're going with male. Okay, all right. So in that case, we have a young Reese emerges, and he gestures to an attendant who hands him a javelin. A shot of Asclepion before aiming the villain as he grins menacingly, aims the javelin at the camera, and the shot cuts the intro. Yep. Okay. All right. Brilliant. And then, lo and behold, immediately afterwards, I had it so that it was like the introduction of the main character. So that's another thing that is to consider now, because I could make it Reese Witherspoon. I could make them Reese Witherspoon inspired. I can't make it Reese Witherspoon herself, but because I'm pretty sure that is I'm pretty sure by 2081 Reese Witherspoon will probably be dead. Oh, we've got Matilda as a suggestion now. Um, okay. I mean, I like that too because Matilda does like. Oh wait, you're talking about like main character names now because that's the I need name character names as well because that's like the next bit here. So yeah, we can go with Matilda there. Okay, so I guess actually wait a minute, that makes sense. You know why? Because one thing that I had thought of for this was that actually Matilda is the daughter of Marissa from the opening scenes. So, maybe I guess keeping it in the family, I suppose. All right, we're going with Matilda. All right. And yeah, so okay. So Va Vania, okay. Sorry, you got the just into a bit too late. So we'll save Vania for now. Unless that's the last name, Matilda Vania. I don't know. Could be. Has a ring to it actually. I'll leave it on to you, Josh. Matilda the Vania could be like a different character, or it could be the last name of this character. Up to you. But also, next question for everyone is how old is Matilda really? Or throw out like general character descriptions or stuff like that. I don't know, fashion or whatever. The only thing I've got in here was that she apparently has a paper round. That's it. And also apparently has a lot of energy because she zooms in. So yeah, I guess I'm still doing some sort of commentary in the sense that I'm not really doing like the could be other villain character because it has Vane in it, I suppose. I would love it if Lady Mania end up watching this video and just end up being like, hang on a second. But yeah. Uh okay, so well, yes, but okay, yes, school age, but what school and what age? That's the thing. You can say that, you can say like like middle school, high school, or if to be honest, like it does. We haven't said what country we're set in yet. So, and yes, it is 15 years later. So she would at max have to be 14, at max 14, because Marissa, for reasons I'll get into later, has to give birth to her before no after the events of the previous scenes. So she's at max 14, but again, throw a few suggestions. It might be sometime later. Maybe Marissa, settled down a little bit later on, and she's like, and Matilda is like 11 or something at this point. It took a while after the events of the Asclepion for her to. Okay, all right, we'll go with 12. Actually, yeah, that works too, and that's actually the same age that Morwenna starts off the mutant girl as. So yeah, okay, all right, so we'll go with 12 for the time being. Oh, wait a minute. I also remembered that before I set up, I actually did something else. Let me just show you. Okay, so that's what I put for the thumbnail, but I have all of these things here. So, you know, any and all characters that we end up actually talking about today, if there's any like design details that can go into some of them, then obviously that I'm prepared for it basically. Oh, and apparently if I minimize Gacha Club, that's what happens to the screen. Good to know. I'll tell you what, so we don't have to go back and forth. Let me just go into like. Actually, no, that won't work. If I go into all screen mode, I will see the chat all the time. All right. Yeah, so 12 or 11. You know what? Maybe she's one of those kids who like specifies like 11 and a half. Yeah, like she'll be in conversation and be like, I'm not 11, I'm 11 and a half. How dare you? So yeah, that kind of thing. Okay. Hold on a second, I need to respond to something. All right. So he zooms in, tosses a newspaper to the lady at full speed. Okie dokie. So I understand now that in Wipeout and Redefan streams, it is tradition at this point to start either improvising as their characters or like giving directions for them. So I don't know. If Marissa was affected by the explosion and then gave birth, have Matilda, could she have slightly unnatural hair and eye colors? Yes. Yes, she could. I mean, to be honest, this is the Butterverse with people. We have had people with, like blue and purple hair in the past, so it's not entirely the realms of possibility. So yeah, to be honest, like any like random hair color or something that you wanted to put out there. We can go back to design for a bit, actually, in that case, and we can work on that for a bit. I normally do designs a little bit later in the process after I have the characters as characters a bit, but I don't mind changing the order. So if we go up to here, let's say that this becomes Matilda. If I can spell it correctly. That was awful. Okay. So yeah, Matilda, and we said that her age was 11 and a half. That's too many characters, apparently. Okay, 11.5. All right, and I don't know. Birthday will just leave because that never does anything. Created by Jacob's chat. Okay. All right. So yeah, we can go through like in the order, I suppose. But Gacha Club as an order of this stuff. So I'll move it over here. We said slightly unnatural hair and eye colors. Right now we have dimensions for this stuff. Oh, see, this is what I was talking about before. Josh has demonstrated to people here what this sort of looks like sometimes. So it's common practice in those streams to speak as the characters, and that basically counts as dialogue suggestion, but also adds to the role play aspect. So that's that. All right. Let's see. Yeah, and then of course one responds. It's sort of like remember people said that time that some people like actually started like making accounts as like Morwenna, Raina, and Agatha from the Mutant Girl, and then just like were talking to each other in the middle of the chat. I had to teeter back and forth between like correcting their inaccuracies about their own characters and also just embracing the fact that apparently my creations had come to life before my very eyes. It was quite surreal. It was a surreal time in my life, but there you go. Okay, so could make her tan if she spends a lot of time in the sun. Okay, all right then. I mean, she could just also be like naturally tanned, like mixed race or something. That works too. I don't know. Something along these lines, maybe. We'll give her like that. Okay. And yeah, nice to see you again, Jessica, who I have not properly met in the series apart from that one spin-off I watched yet. Okay. All right, so spends a lot of time in the sun. That's good character trait as well, I will say. Okay, so yeah, height obviously will go into the smaller territories because she is like a child. So I know. Put it at 15 for now. Then we also can have. Well, all this stuff is like head rotation stuff. I'll take the shadow off for now. Might put it back later, depends. Also, we changed the skin, so probably the outline should be a little bit darker as well, just to keep those features somewhat defined. Okay. By the way, we can play around with like head size and stuff because like I know it's part of the Butterverse, but we can also aesthetically, the mutant girl was somewhat held back by the fact that it was originally a Gacha Life production, and thus I was unable to change the proportion of the characters. But I can actually make the heads a bit more balanced, if that is something that people might be, give me like some yeses or nos in the chat to that. Just throwing the idea out there. I need like some elevator music or something to go along with the time it takes to there's to talk. Okay, if you don't mind either way, I guess we can. I don't know, unless someone in the chat types afterwards, we'll keep it like this for now. Maybe that will help because it's just like magical girl stuff. So we have the chance to make to take advantage of the chibi aspect of Gacha. So okay, we'll leave it at that. So yeah, so now I guess so we said before that as far as as I'm just going to put like a random hair on right now just to this doesn't have to be the actual thing, just to visualize. So I guess if we're going with like unnatural hair and eye color or something, then yeah, I guess really anything is on the table here. So normally what I do is I've in the past I've strayed away from the color green, mostly because whenever I'm doing like movements and dialogue and stuff, I tend to film them like this, so I can actually then green screen that out and put it on a separate layer. But honestly, like I don't tend to do that nowadays, except for dialogue. I tend to use the PNG options a lot more. So yeah, green is back on the table really. But so yeah, basically, yeah, give me anything and we'll test to see how it looks. Do 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 do. By the way, am I doing this right? Because normally, because I don't know if yeah, blue or like a blue green. Okay. All right. Considering the skin tone, I'm probably gonna go with like a dark green-ish or dark blue. Something along those lines. We'll see what each of them looks like. So dark green would look something like this. Again, with different hairstyle, obviously. I guess dark blue would somewhat be. We have already kind of seen dark blue in the Butterverse, but Actually, this one doesn't really give you much of a perspective. Let me just. Okay, there we go. That gives you much more of an idea of like what the what the colors look like. So yeah, I'll go back to green for a second. There's also like the midsection here where it's like halfway between green and blue, I suppose. Wait, I just realized something. So part of like a lot of things with magical girls is that they transform, right? So so honestly, maybe like if she's in a transformed state, maybe that's when the dark blue and stuff like actually like manifests. You like the navy, okay? But yeah, maybe that's when that comes out. Because then we actually because I guess it would be kind of easy to tell if there's no like hair transformation, then it's easy to identify her in real life. And I know that in animes of this nature, it's kind of like it's very common not to see uh not to ignore how similar these people look. You know. Okay, so I guess this is her transformed state, which means we get to design the outfit for that too. Okay. So yeah, we'll go back to like navy. So yeah, that works. Obviously, as well, we have obviously we have like a bunch of different other types of hairs to actually scroll through that aren't just this one. So I don't know. With magical girls, like the pigtails in that nature, actually they do sort of work. Either that or she has her hair tied up normally, and then like when she transforms, the hair gets to flow freely or something like that. It depends. That might be bad for combat though, now I think about it, because, would most likely get in the way if nothing else. There's also another thing. I didn't quite say what her power set was. We know it's not water, but yeah, something else that she would have like inherited from that experiment. So yeah, so the idea with that experiment stuff, actually, the reason that she ends up transforming is because most of the time those scientific experiments, they have to actually because of how the mutation theory actually works and how they've used that in the Butterverse, we actually have it actually is actually most of the time it's the second generation that inherits these abilities. Okay, so hair up is more convenient for fighting. Okay. Um yeah, so that's one thing. So that's why it's her and not, her mother who is out there, fighting the good fight or whatever. That was a little bit too short. We need like anime protagonist kind of thing for particularly for the transform state. It's got to be nice and bombastic in some way. I'm just gonna give her like some sort of like back hair so it doesn't look entirely out of place. Okay. Um yeah, I don't know. By the way, if anyone else has Gacha Club open at this point, then go ahead and explore for yourselves, and then just like shout out a number, and I can find it. That's how that works too. That's what I used to do back in the day when I needed to when Jay went over a lot of the designs from the first Music Girl music video before I actually went to make the show. Um, what we did then was basically just shouting out like a bunch of things and just putting them in, or there was like an actual number. Depends if it was like importing Empress and Pop that were made by him. So that's what happened. So it's kind of nostalgic. I don't normally design characters with other people. As it was, I don't normally design characters nowadays. Mostly other people offer to do that, especially Emily, who then went on to like make like 50 extras at one point. Or alternatively, I do design stuff in front of people sometimes, but that would, of course, most likely come from Aiden. And here he is.
Hi. I got a costume anime Demon Slayer.
Ah, I see.
I don't know if it got to that part in the anime where he dons his kimono, but yeah.
He might have done, actually.
It was during the training arc.
In that case, yes, I have.
Okay. Yeah, because he does don that eventually.
Okay. That's different, but it kind of looks like dark blue jazz pop. That currently means nothing to me, but I know it will eventually.
What does that mean?
Oh, it's because there's like a whole series that this particular group do that is based on like names of genres of music. Actually, you have like jazz pop, we've got blues pops, etc. So yeah, and apparently this is Eli. It's been called. I've just been calling you Flower Pot the whole time. I apologize.
Yes. So, how many characters have you designed so far?
This is the first.
Okay, so I recommend changing your bow color. Like, what kind of color scheme are we going for? Because, like,
I don't know if I'm gonna have bows yet necessarily. It's just I'm waiting for inputs on actual hair design. We know that her hair is going to be tied up because because it would be better for combat actually.
Oh, I kind of like I like the hair next to the cat ears one.
Hold on, next to the cat ears. What, this one here?
That one, yeah. I kind of like that one. I think it looks cute.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think that kind of hair might be susceptible to be like grabbed or something, but yeah, maybe.
It's a magical girl show. Have they ever wore practical clothing for fighting? It's magical girls.
Well, this one
outfits.
can. This one can because we haven't designed the costume yet.
Yeah, so, but like at the same time, you also gotta have the cute outfits.
Okay, apparently this is the one that seems to be the best one. So yeah, we'll go with this for now. Yeah, it's gonna be cute and practical. But you know my methodology in Gacha. It's always got to be cute and practical. It's gotta have
well, sometimes logic doesn't need to be in a magical girl show. If you're transforming into magical girls,
that's like the main criticism with magical girl shows is that they don't obey any sense of logic. That's why we laugh at them so much as well as enjoy them.
That's the thing, though, about magical girl shows. They abide by their own internal logic. I think that's one thing you do miss with a lot of stuff. You miss that each show has its own internal logic versus saying actual real world logic.
Where unfortunately, we can't do much of that here because it's still Butterverse, so we have to. So the whole universe has the same internal logic.
True.
Which actually, fun fact, in 2019, that was actually coined as Butter Logic, not by me, but apparently Butter Logic was the antithesis of Gacha Logic, which just shows you how strict I can be sometimes. You know, I say as I design a character who has inherited powers from a lab that got blown up by a magical javelin. You know,
a magical javelin? Yeah. Wait, did the gods do that?
Not the gods, but another new character whose name is Reese. Apparently, that's what we decided. Who may or may not be the offspring or a descendant of Athena. We didn't get that far.
A demigod?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, wait. So, Okay, so this is a conversation I had BB once where she was all like, "Oh, but they wouldn't be having demigod children because they were supposed to step away from humanity." And like me and BB had that whole discussion about that. I was like, "Yeah, but they clearly haven't stepped away from humanity, you know."
Yeah, hang on a
Or at
second. I
least the
just
way the
realized as well.
narrative has been written, or at least the way the narrative has been developed in a lot of shows like Fallen Angels and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just realized as well. Athena is actually one of the three virgin goddesses, so she does have a demigod. It's always like in Rick Riordan's books. They're always like they're born from her skull, like she was born from Zeus's, and then like they're like willed into existence by the power of her own mind, essentially. Um, However, in this one, if that's supposing that is what happened, there would be like another child that would be like created for a reason, much like Helen is in Fallen Angels. Either that, or it's just that Reese is an Athena acolyte or something. Maybe he's a priest, High Priest Reese, something like that. That
Well,
could
I
work
got a
too,
question:
honestly.
is Reese pink?
We never actually designed him, so we
I
don't
mean,
know. All
I
we know is
kind of
that
want to
he's
make Reese pink now. I don't know why. I just get this sudden urge to make a character with the name Reese pink.
yes, I do wonder, it is
I do wonder.
incredibly
I
subtle.
wonder where that desire came from. I can't see anywhere where it came from.
Truly, it is a mystery of this universe.
Oh, bye,
Eli.
Eli. Bye, Eli.
All right, you've been very helpful. Oh, an art droid comes in to take their place. Brilliant.
Okay,
Okay.
so
To give you a rundown, we're making a series like on stream because actually a friend of Eli's actually inspired me to this idea of like, actually going through and there's a second series in the works. Okay, fair enough then. I assume that I think that's on the same. Is that on the same channel or just a different place altogether? Either way, we're making a series live. That's what's happening. So I suppose I've got one too now.
So okay, so what should the frontier be? And are we gonna add any like ad hogs or whatever whatever they're called?
I mean, to be honest, magical girl. She can have like I don't know, one of them on her or something. No idea. Something like that. I have no clue. We haven't established what her power set would be, so there could be like a nod to whatever it is.
I mean, how would you even want to do the powers in the Magical Girl show?
Well, that would obviously depend on what is said here and what the powers actually are as to how I would go about making them. I can't really like think of a method before I know what I'm supposed to be like judging. Oh, you also did say that you wanted like a different bow color, so we can do that too.
I recommend white. I think white would look good for like the thing. Although you could also wait until you design more of a color scheme for this character and actually like pick one of the colors on the character to be the bows as well. That complement the hair as well. That can also be something that is weighted on.
That is true. Yeah, the color scheme of this character definitely is going to be something relating to blue because this is not what her hair normally looks like. It's just in her transformed state because otherwise it's a huge giveaway when she actually does transform who she actually is. So I do think about some aspects of Magical Girl logic that I'm not going to be like,
But one thing that I mean I'm kind of confused on is okay, so if the lab hypothetically got destroyed, that's more of a superhero intro to a power set versus a magical girl because a magical girl is in the name. It's magical girls with magic. Normally a magical object that transforms them. So
yeah,
it's kind of a weird concept having them transform into magical girls if they're got their powers from a lab. Because like even Miraculous Ladybug, they use magical jewels called Miraculous.
I know what they use, and yeah, you don't need to explain. Yeah, okay. So my solution for that actually was that I think it was suggested by Eli before that that's because of the lab thing, which actually is where this character's mother used to work as a scientist. When the mother actually gave birth to her, some of that actually got transferred. She's a second, and the actual experiments they do only affect the second generation. So the idea of like having like some sort of like unnatural residue or like ideas that actually would end up being like awoken by some sort of trigger which then could be controlled at will. That's the idea. That's what like the magic aspect comes in, because essentially it's kind of like, you're willing it yourself into existence. That's a form of magic, if anything. It's just magic that happens to be born from science.
I mean, maybe I could see that. I don't know.
Yeah, it made more sense to me than device falls from the sky and whacks Skull in the head for the millionth time.
I mean, I don't know, because like the concept I had for like a superhero show, like that concept of a way to give someone magical powers through magic, through having them get a magical object. And I don't know if I want to reveal the concept here, if I'll ever do the concept, but I don't know. You know the concept they have though.
I mean, to be honest, some of that can actually happen here, because clearly Reese has a magical javelin, so it's not beyond the realms of possibility that some people could actually also get powers in a different way.
Yeah. I mean, that would probably be better if like there are different people with different power sets and like from different sources versus all the same source, because that would cause more diverse, interesting, and especially backstories. You could write in new backstories and new lore tidbits for them. Because I mean, the Butterverse
Absolutely.
is very, very expansive when it comes to like creatures and characters and stuff like that we have seen. So we don't have to tie ourselves, unlike a normal magical girl show, we don't have to tie ourselves down to one type of power set or magical kind of girl, kind of like, Sailor Moon or something like that, where they all pretty much derive their power from very similar ideas.
Yeah, the Butterverse does have a rigid set of rules occasionally, but it also has a lot of possibilities within them.
It has a lot of weirdness.
Oh, yeah, plenty of that and all, yes. In spades, in fact. Okay, then. Right, we're saying about front hair, actually. I'm going to take out the highlights, actually, because...
The highlights. Okay, Jacob?
Yeah?
That's not how you get rid of highlights.
I know there's another option to do that, but for now, we haven't got to the other page.
I know, but like, you did that with Mrs. Dice art for the longest time. Like, whenever I had to reuse Mrs. Dice art from season 1 in a flashback in episode 6, part 1, I remembered that she still has the highlights technically turned on. It's just colored her hair. It's annoying. It's just like, Jacob, you just turn it to 0. Just turn it to 0.
I do love how you said, I love how every time I have to do Mrs. Dice art, like that one time. Now, but I understand what you mean. Okay. All right, I'll do that now before I forget then. Okay. All right. So,
and thanks, Josh.
It's not meant to be a shirt. It's a bit kimono if Tanjiro's worn it. Anyway.
Yeah, it's kimono, but
Speaking of Mrs. Dice art.
What just did you say, Aiden? What? What did you just say?
Yeah, what?
I don't know. Minor spoiler for episode 6, part 1, whenever that comes out in like a million years. A million years. Okay, now what kind of hair? Okay, you see the hair in the kind of the middle of the screen?
Yeah.
Below that. Up one. That one. What do you think of that hairstyle? Because I think that hairstyle looks cute.
Maybe. I don't know. It seems a little bit messier than the other hairs that we've like used so far, which seem a lot more polished.
You could cover one eye with hair.
Well, just like that.
Yeah.
Now you gotta have the chibi eyes like be shown. That's definitely gotta be a thing. Either that or obviously under a mask, depends on what we do. I'm just gonna
I like that
randomly.
one. I like that. I like that one. That one
Oh,
looks
this one
cute.
here.
No, the other one. You're just on it. I like that one. I think that one's cute.
I think I might draw that one, adjust that one, put that one down a little bit, just because kind of like rounds her off a bit more. Okay, then we have this, I suppose.
Just throws one on.
Maybe that could be like a running joke. There's always like one hair that's out of place whenever she transforms. She's just like, ugh, not again.
How do you even want to make this series? Because like we could hypothetically try to do it in comic form, which wouldn't be too hard to do.
The original script was actually like styled in the form of a comic. I actually changed it for this, but I can change it back easily.
Because I actually got an idea how we do it. Like we go online, look up a comic base, you know, and get
Okay.
and then like kind of drag the characters on, and like I could, if you want, I could probably format it since I know how to do work in an art program and stuff like that.
Okay, well, fair enough. In that case, I can change it back to the script form I had before then.
Yeah, and
Eventually.
what we could do as well, if you want constant stream of content, is we could have like it constantly coming out on Instagram or wherever you'd want to put the comic. You know,
Oh yeah,
like
that
it
was
could
like
come
the
out
plan from
every few.
before.
It could come out like every 3 to 4 days. You know, if we make the chapters short enough and we divide it short enough, or it could be very long, depending on how you want to handle it. But that will also take longer to make. So I don't know. Like maybe it could be like slice of life adventures with a magical girl in this. I don't know.
I think Instagram has a maximum of like 10 images that you can put in like one thing. So
Yeah.
probably probably relatively short. Either that or just like have different paths to like one thing or something like that. Yeah.
And then we can later do comic dubs.
Yeah, that's also a thing, absolutely. Okay. So I can imagine if we like start doing comic dubs in the future and then like these streams still happen to be going on and then people come in, it's like, wait a minute, this is like a huge spoiler. Anyway. Oh, Nova Lee Blue Clouds is here. I don't recognize your name. I believe you are new. So welcome.
Hello.
Oh, and question for you, Aiden. Do you think Carousel of Four Angels would like Halloween?
Probably. Man, I don't really do holiday specials in Fallen Angels, so I mean, if I did. Oh, YouTube sent it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been getting recommended
welcome.
more and more recently. I'm
Mhm.
glad. Yeah, we're making a magical girl series. This is the main character, Matilda, and we're just designing her transform state right now. We're also doing the story, but for the time being, we're focusing on this part here. I think we're done with the hair for now, so I guess we can move on to the eyes.
Okay, for starters, for the eyes, I would change that brown part to black.
Which, oh, this part here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Aesthetics, yeah.
I suppose. Could also do with the
Okay.
main color too.
So, what eye color would be eye catching?
I mean, I'm not too against a color scheme for the transformed characters because it somewhat makes sense to do. Because
Well, yeah, each character always has a color scheme. Do you
okay,
mean like
that's
do you mean a core color?
yes, yeah, a core color for this one. I mean, color schemes in the sense of what you normally do for, well, not normally anymore, but used to do quite a lot for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the only character that backfired on would be Jason, just because Jason had way too much blue on him, and I didn't segment enough the colors with other colors. But I feel like everyone else worked fine enough with having only a few colors on them, which it makes a lot more sense realistically. That way, you're not overloading people with too many colors at once.
I mean, that's a Project SNT a piece of advice there actually to do that. I guess also, you know, it's like S&T versus our comment section. That's sort of like it's like a bit of a balance to actually do there. But anyway, back to the central question: eye color. What?
Pink.
Pink and blue. Okay, interesting. I would not have thought.
And her hair is white, therefore I don't know. I'm just making a headcanon for this character.
Okay, Novalee says to try gold or something. So
That'd be yellow.
I
But yeah.
suppose. Well, I mean, this is sort of more golden. I think
Uh,
this sort of hue here.
Okay, yeah. And black pupils. Just do black pupils, please. Do solid black. You could do solid black with the pupils.
The pupils do actually have an outline to them, so I'm gonna do like I just
Why
do the
do
one
pupils?
above.
Why do pupils need an outline though? Like they're all just solid black. You know, it makes sense to me. You know.
To define them. Besides, you like black outlines on everything, Aiden.
Yeah, because black outlines I think look good on them. It makes the characters stand out from the background. It makes
Okay,
them.
so yeah, so with the black outline here, we have the people stand out a little bit, tiny bits anyway. Oh, we also need to like match.
You need to change the eye type as well.
I had to match the eyebrows to the actual hair because I never do that.
I kind of think it needs to be a little darker though. I think you need to go darker than the hair for the eyebrows, just because it's very hard to see the eyebrows, and the eyebrows are a really good way of expressing the character's emotions.
Allow me to fix that.
Like I think a very dark blue would be fine. You know, just enough where you could tell it's blue, but like not enough where it's because you need to be able to tell where the eyebrows are. That works, I think. That's tellable, I think. I hope they're visible because yeah.
I mean, we can also do this because I did adjust the front hair to go a bit further down. That's why it's also staying a bit more. So yeah, we can go with that. All right, so we have that. Oh, obviously, we just need eye shape. We can't just stay with eyes one. I get.
I like the eyes
enough critique
next
for
to
that.
I like the eyes next under crap. It's like next to like the one of all the eyelashes. It has like a little bit of eyelash, like kind of feminine look to them. I like those eyes a lot. Yeah, those are some of my favorite eyes to use on the character.
Fair enough. I also think that the lashes do really work here. You know, especially considering like, how many magical girl characters wink constantly. You know, it does actually stand out. There's also a few other variants of that. Not that one.
I like the other one, but you know.
Yeah, no, I'm just going through, just seeing what there
what's
is.
that? What are those? What are those?
It is worth pointing out to people watching now that we can, in fact, adjust these later. Oh, there's also some that naturally. Oh god. Okay. These ones do have like a natural like blue fade to them. Yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes sense for the character, but in her transformed form. But I don't know if you want her eyes to look different in her transformed form versus her human form. I say human, like she becomes an alien, but you know what I mean.
That's a good point. We should have like two types of eyes that could actually be somewhat that you could almost see like I know like
you
the lash is like part of the transformation.
Okay. Like you see the ones with like all the lashes, like a lot more of the lashes. You know, see those? You could be like because those could be like the more evolved versions of those, where her like eyelashes become a lot more pronounced or something.
Okay. Yeah, kind of. I was thinking
because they both have a very feminine. They both have a both feminine shape to them. So you know, one's just more feminine.
Yeah.
Feminine.
Feminine, yes. Nemo, where do you live? Anemone. Anyway.
Anemone.
Yeah, just showed our age with that one. Okay.
Oh God.
Yeah, again, making them slightly darker, just going through the process. There we go.
I feel like they look weird now with the blue and gold.
I think that might have been part of the point from what Nobly was saying before, like doing some sort of contrast. I mean, the outfit itself can be gold.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
actually,
Josh
yeah,
doesn't look good. Okay, we can make the outfit gold, and that can be that, you know. Or well,
yeah, and
gold mixed
and
with
then
blue,
wait,
and that can be our color scheme.
yeah, and then you can make her hair ties instead of white. You can make them gold, unless you want to put white on the uniform.
Can be like an emphasis, but I do think it would make more sense to like have the gold there.
I mean, it
I've
makes more
completely
sense the more
lost.
when having a yellow bow. Like seriously, I think that was a weird design choice. It's just like, hey, I know she's wearing like orange and white, but I think a yellow hair tie makes a lot of sense on her because
Just in case there's any confusion right now from people watching, Aiden is referring to the season 3 design of Morwenna, not the ones before that, where she actually is wearing also
yeah.
yellow.
It
Okay.
doesn't make sense to me just to have that be the only yellow thing. It'd be one thing if yellow was on the design, like the shoes or something like that were yellow, like somewhere else visibly there was yellow on it. But just introducing a little bit of color, like a random little bit of a different color on a character that is pretty much white and orange, which is her main color scheme in season 3. You know, it doesn't really make sense.
I think we're getting approval here. Okay. Now we're talking. Haha. Yes. Okay. In that case, we'll go back to I think we're on to here now, actually. There was something else I missed here. Nope, don't think so. All right, so
I mean, you may want to give her a different expression rather than just the default smile. Like
well,
maybe.
I mean, obviously that's going to change depending on what panel she's in. You know.
Okay. So, here's one thing I like to do. So
For now, I can put her in like that, or
I know
maybe
everyone. I know people like to have like the paint like smear. Calling it the paint smear. I'm calling it what you call it. But I know people like to have that kind of illustrated nose where it's just like a line that's slightly faded than different than the skin tone. But personally, like what I like to do is click on the nose. So see the like the little round nose there, like the little like swoop. That one. Oh, crap, you can't see that. I like to adjust it so it's like kind of pointing up a little bit. I can't show it with my face because I'm not a God's character. Darn it.
it's fine. I'm trying to adapt as I go. I'm trying to show what that would sort of be like.
Yeah,
Kind of
I
something
like
like
to
this, you mean?
rotate it a little bit more. You know, like a little bit more, just so it's like, yeah, something like that. I don't know. I think
Yeah, I
that
think
kind of
that
looks good.
works. Yeah. And one thing that I like to do nowadays, this is mostly an Average Academy thing because, again, Mutant Girl was already very defined. I do like to go in and like match and like have something a little bit like that. So I do, at the very least, have it somewhat reminiscent of the skin tone or the outlines. Let me just check that. Oh, it's down there. Okay. Okay. So I guess we can do that again, unless chat has something to say, because this is meant to be a process between like everyone. So unless chat has something to say here, then we'll do that for now. Obviously, yeah, if you want to put in like the typical like magical girl pose, for example, that can also be a thing, because again, if we're gonna change that for now, something along those lines. Okay, so I guess that's okay. So that's that. Presets adjust, blah blah blah. Outfit time. This is going. Moving on. I guess we can start with all of this stuff. I mean, we did just make the outfit pink. I think we were going to go with like gold slash blue again, so we can actually. So it's not like too much. Yeah, exactly. It would indeed clash. That's what I was thinking. Okay. I know. I'll just go in sequential order. Maybe there's a hat somewhere here. This is also where we should really talk about like, what her actual power set is going to be.
I mean, that's what I normally do before designing characters, to be fair. I mean, I normally establish lore behind them or like do something before I'm like, you know what, let's design them. Because like I enjoy designing characters, But like, I like to have like lore established, so when I design them, I know what I'm doing.
Normally I do that too, Aiden. The thing is that with this, I didn't. That is the point is to open it up to everyone to figure out the lore together. So it does. So no matter what order we do it in, whether it's script or story first, it still
So
relies on the chat
okay,
being here.
so now the question is the person with javelin a good character or a bad character? Like, are they going to be antagonistic or are they going to be protagonistic to the main characters?
Oh, we said that. We said that before. But wait, just before we address that, Josh, again with the creep factor, we don't need to do that with every single person that shows up in these streams. And also, it's not much of an achievement. Like you just search up the username. That's not like, oh wow, I found your deeply bedded channel that's clearly obviously you with the same profile picture and name.
Yeah.
It's hardly a huge achievement.
It's not really
Okay.
a secret.
Yeah. And also again, very creepy. I found your channel. Okay. Right. So back to this then. So yeah, like I said, open up to the chat. So powers. Back when I came up with this idea originally, I thought this she could have something to do with with like different like waves and frequency. So like that would also include the light spectrum. So like radio, microwaves, but all the way up to like gamma, X-rays, etc. And visible light in between those, obviously infrared, ultraviolet. That was the original plan because that also came from a radio play that I co-wrote with people like doing a workshop at one of my local radio stations. So that was sort of where I was like that was sort of like my thoughts there. Would have been something that was be. Then again, given that all this technology and research does come from the stuff we've seen in the Muse and Go, like in terms of mutation theory, I don't know if there's anything that would really be able to like control the light spectrum to that degree. So maybe something different.
I mean, we could do like basic sense enhancement, like maybe like give super senses, maybe super strength or something.
I suppose, yeah, there is always that kind of thing with like the hand-to-hand combat here. Although, yeah, most likely in terms of like the magic stuff, we should also have it be somewhat ranged. So it's like a use of magic, something transforms into that. Hmm.
I'm still kind of unclear on like how magic factors into this.
It's essentially like through science, there's been a whole new form of magic that's been created. That's really, just really to keep it on brand.
I mean, one plot line you could explore is maybe Hecate's thought on that. I don't know how Hecate would feel about new forms of magic being created.
That is true. This does take place slightly. Oh wait, actually, I've said before I don't want to do like timeline placements, but yeah, given that Hecate does become inspired to use magic at some point, or train people to use magic to actually help humanity in the same way, it might actually just be like an inspiring, like an inspiration that comes from here.
I mean,
we've already got
wait.
We've already got Athena's acolytes and stuff already not
Mm.
happy with this, and considering that you've portrayed the animosity between those two in something, maybe she'd actually be more in favor, honestly. Just a new form of magic for her to rule over as the goddess of witchcraft,
I mean, maybe, but one thing, if this takes place in Age 2, I don't know, because I feel like part of the inspiration for the magic school was, well, we kind of already saw a bit of it in what we've been writing recently. We kind of already saw the early inspiration of what will eventually lead to Alpha Witch Academy.
Well, much like this, multiple inspirations can lead to multiple things. That's the thing. Pretty much everything we do is inspired by multiple factors, just put together into something new. If anything, that's what every aspect of creativity actually is, because like everyone's like struggles like coming up with like new ideas and stuff. What you really do, what the brain really does is it connects a bunch of things that you've been exposed to already and mixes them in a way that comes across as new. But yeah, let's see. And obviously, some people are more subtle at that than others. I mean, I think we've, both of us and also Afmau have been really, really on the nose sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, is this gonna be a series where you make this a series? Like, what are your plans for the streams? Like, is this going to be multiple streams or just a stream?
Well, I mean, this is my way to get the ball rolling now, but particularly for episode 1 or something. I think the way that Wipeout's Arena Fan actually does this is that they're like they're multiple that get hosted like every episode, and eventually people will like be improving as their characters. I think you've seen Josh already improving as the character of Jessica, which makes no sense here, but it does over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably one per episode or something. I mean, especially if this performs particularly well, because it's just something that again I got inspired to try. Didn't know how it would actually turn out. Okay, I've got it. Maybe if instead of like controlling, if they can controlling the light spectrum, her body can like emit it in different forms, possibly. I don't know. She can communicate long distance with radio waves. And possibly microwaves too. Depends, because Bluetooth that's basically what it is. And also she can actually glow and use like the different forms of light, particularly blue. I suppose if blue would be where that part's from actually. Maybe she has there's infrared and ultraviolet vision that can come in handy too. What else is there? X-rays, because that's also there, and then at the extreme end, that is actually gamma. Maybe she doesn't try to mess around with that stuff, because gamma radiation obviously is
She becomes the
dangerous.
Hulk.
Yeah.
The next story arc with this character.
I mean, if anything, she could actually she'd become like the bomb that creates the Hulk. If anything, maybe that happens at one point. Maybe she accidentally is using her gamma powers trying to figure something out, and actually creates one of her own villains to later. That yeah. Although that being said, more often than causing different Hulks, gamma actually causes cancer, so maybe not. So yeah, maybe go up to X-rays. Gamma's like the very extreme of the light spectrum. And I've seen no other suggestions in chat so far, so I guess we can go with that for now.
Mm-hmm.
Give her an accessory. Okay, well, we're about to do the see, this is what I meant by the Jessica thing before, by the way. So yeah, we'll do the outfit for now, because we did just say what was going on. I suppose her hair could be on the cover because we need that, so maybe no hats. But yeah, fittingly enough, we have 4 rows here of random accessories, so that does help. I don't know what precisely, but something. Wait, these are on the head? How's that work? Oh, never mind. She could also just have a, she could have a dead whale on her head. Just carry that around. No.
Well, maybe global warming killed all the whales at this point.
That's possible. Either that or we poach them all. Oh, good grief. Okay, I don't think this page is going to help us much. What is this? Oh, it's another bird. Okay. Yeah, just going to ignore that for now. Oh, well, that'll come in handy actually for other characters, not for her necessarily. There are so many of these, honestly. I never thought. Hmm. If it's light related, something that looks like that to do with... Oh, wait, I just realized what I was about to say there. It's like, oh, what if that's to do with the moon? It's like, that'll give some, that has some connotations to it in the realms of anime, so let's not.
Sailor Moon, yeah.
Exactly. That's the thing, she is the one Sailor Moon. Again, you can take inspiration, but it can't be that blatant. That's the secret to not, not plagiarizing anything. Yeah, fighting by the moonlight, exactly. And, I don't know, Stomach Ground by Daylight, I forget the actual song. Right. I think this page was a bust, honestly, but, if anyone sees something... No. I mean, she does just have a completely exposed face half the time. But again, we're going to change her hair later, so, she can become mild-mannered Clark Kent later. And I think these are just rare versions of the same. Yeah, they are. Post-apocalypse. Oh, actually, wait a minute. By the way, we're recording this on November 1st, so happy Day of the Dead to anyone who celebrates that. Oh, wait, I've got to remove that first. Wait a second. Did I just see that correctly? Hang on.
See what correctly?
Wait a minute. Oh, this is the thing that Apex has. It's like the planets or something. I mean, that's another thing, That could be like a theme of like some other character. Because, space is cool, as they say. Yeah, all of these are variants of the same thing, so I don't think we're getting much in the way of head accessories here. Oh, I was about to say like stars. Stars and light. That could have been something, but yeah, maybe doesn't seem so. Okay. There is also the option of different glasses, maybe, I don't know. We did spend a bunch of time emphasizing the eyes and the lashes, so we'll most likely not cover up too much here. Nah. All right, next page. We have face accessories. I can make a Ten Shinhan. Nah. Again, moon, so no. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is. Ugh. Oh, just a minute. I'm just gonna change. I'm gonna change the color to something that we can actually see properly. Form a judgment. I don't even know where that went. That's after a particularly gruesome fight. Just all the battle scars. I mean, that's something. It's like, they're not freckles, they're light-emitting diodes. Which, by the way, that's what LED stands for. Oh, Josh says give her a scarf. Alright, we'll look in the scarf section. Alright. I mean, there's plenty of bows and stuff. That's classic magical girl right there. It's also whatever on earth these are. Oh, that's interesting too. Like a paladin of light, that could work. No. That's weird in that position because it seems like it's, dislocating. I just realized that's another problem with. Wait, oh, I think that might have been like a one from several things ago. I think you were saying about this, weren't you, Josh? To us, this could be the thing on the outfit that's white, and then just again keep that part gold. If not, we'll change to blue in a second. Okay, so we have that. Now let's look at the actual clothes, the actual outfit. So yeah, obviously, with the realms of magical girls, it seems that the rule of less is more seems to apply. However, you know, we're not going to do that because, good grief. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Again, if anyone like has Gacha Club open, throw out some suggestions because that helps too. Oh, I thought that design would actually show up there. It doesn't because of the cape. Oh, hang on a second. Now that could be something that almost looks like armor. Then again, she probably wouldn't have access to armor really. Oh, you've been on Gacha Club this entire time. Yeah, exactly. Good call. Tank top, apparently. All right. Let's see. So if one of those there, thing is, you can't really see the tank part of the tank top the because of the scarf now. That's the other issue with that. Of course, the only other tank top option is this, and I think that might be a little bit much for our 11-and-a-half-year-old main character.
Dang, she developed fast.
Yeah, we did decide about that age earlier, by the way. That was like one thing of her character. She insists she's 11-and-a-half and not just 11. Very important distinction. So yeah, thinking either that or that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You missed this part. We decided that earlier because we were on a script before this, and we took a break from it, because there was interest in designing the character. Ironically enough, the person who showed the most interest had to then leave, but we few remain, I suppose. But yeah, we'll probably get back to the script after this. It is good as well to like have the actual lore of like what her actual powers are. So when we do get to talking about that eventually, it will be a little bit easier. So yeah, I guess does that knowledge change anyone's minds or anything? That's a weird one. I mean, to be honest, I have seen a few magical girls where when they transform, they actually just age up physically, which, granted, is a good layer of defense for your secret identity actually, and probably helps in terms of fitness and stuff. That being said, not entirely sure for here. So yeah, are we keeping the tank top or not? Let the people speak. The other option is probably this or that. Oh, yes to keeping the tank top. Okay. All right, and we did say we were making the outfits. We were say making the outfit blue, weren't we? I was gonna say maybe slightly. Oh, I just realized a lot of this navy stuff, like it actually does blend into purple. So, gotta be careful with that, I suppose. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna try something. Um, I'm gonna see what happens if I shift the blue over by 1. It becomes easier to identify. For some reason, it like ages her up significantly. I don't know why. Just to me, it seems like I guess it's because of the the new defined lines and stuff. That might be it. I also realized this front hair actually looks like it was it has extra details onto it. Like it has clips that don't seem to want to disappear. No, I prefer the other blue. Okay, the sleeves here, I don't know. Those default sleeves are always kind of strange. I wonder why that's the first option. Like someone's like ripped off part of their own sleeve, and that seems to be like the standard, apparently. There is that, but I don't know. Imagine it would get in the way. This design seems to be, for the most part, small and nimble at the moment. Yeah, much like the character herself, which makes sense. So probably something slightly thin here. What is happening? Aiden, you're tapping the microphone. You want to say something?
No, I'm not. Actually, no, I'm messing with my mouse. That's all.
Oh, okay, fine. Just taking going Sambros, you just wanted to like scream at me or something.
Yeah, no, I want to scream at you right now. So don't mind me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm screaming at you. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay, just regular short sleeves. Okay.
Isn't the point of it being a tank top? Tank tops normally don't have short sleeves?
Oh yeah, that's true. Tank tops don't normally have any sleeves. That's a good point.
I
I mean, you can't see short
doesn't-
sleeves on this anyway. Like, look, they
Yeah.
just come down to about there on the scarf. Okay, well, I guess we can do it that way then.
I kind of like the bandage on her. I thought that was cool.
We'll see. Those were here. Again, there seems to be a definite amount of of white accessories, which we weren't really aiming for. I mean, part of me thinks that I guess with like a little bit of if it was a comic, then like with a little bit of image manipulation, you could actually like extend those into some sort of weapon.
Maybe.
Like maybe because like her powers are slightly temperature based, she actually like uses those to, I guess, either either burn or freeze people, depends. Yes, there's that. Now the scarf seems like it's like out of seems like it's out of the scheme. I don't know. Maybe it too needs to be altered a little bit. That at least blends with the rest of it, I think. Okay, I think now we're starting to get into a bit more of a scheme. So, all right. Actually, hang on, before we move on there. We have... I don't think jackets would work here. So yeah, we have skirt options. Or pants options, honestly. Now again, magical girls tend to ignore skirt physics entirely, which is honestly, that's a blessing and a curse depending on what scene you're referring to here. But yeah, in terms of actual combat prowess, that might not be such a good idea.
I think skirts are cute though.
Skirts are cute. Yes, that is the that is the counter of this. Yeah, magical skirts, exactly. See, that's where the magic comes in, you know, not applying real world physics to them, because thank Christ for that, honestly,
I mean,
sometimes.
Gacha doesn't even have real world physics to skirts. I mean, like, the way Morena's skirt works,
Her tail will be lifting it up just a little bit, at least at bare minimum, and we don't see that.
That's why she wears such a long one, so that the just a little bit isn't as dramatic. Yeah.
That's ugly. What is that even?
It also there's, I think it's also like it doesn't seem to like shrink into it like the rest of them do. That's also another thing. What is this one? I don't like that one.
They're pants.
Those look like pants, but I assure you they're not.
They're pants. Yes, give her a ball gown. I mean, I think her finding a ball gown sounds practical.
I mean, yeah, this character is also 11, so maybe like the practical outfit doesn't come in until later. It's like, wait a minute, this was a bad idea.
Does she even? I mean, would she even want a practical outfit when fighting at first? Like, I imagine she would be like, you know what? No, I can find the most pretty dress possible, and she fails epically.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if she actually is, if she does like use the powers that we've like.
The real question is she
her.
materializing this on purpose? Like, did she pick what she materialized herself as? Because in a lot of magical girl shows, they don't really pick their outfit. They're not like, oh, I want to wear like this crop top and like these jewels. I'm thinking with this like mini skirt. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like they don't normally like debate what they want to wear for their magical girl transformation. So does this magical girl choose her transformation?
I mean, yeah, that's a good question.
Because that is important to know.
Oh yeah, unless it's miraculous, they don't get to pick anything. Okay. I mean, we could go with. I hesitate to say the words. We could go with miraculous logic out loud, but
oh god,
we could.
How dare!
Yeah, no, yeah, just for as a costume selection, I guess. Then again, did that actually happen? I don't think. Anyway, doesn't matter. That's the thing. I'm realizing as well the character like controlling the light spectrum doesn't actually like give you like the powers of fabric at all or anything like that. So
Hashtag Aiden the skirt.
What? Yeah, like I guess that's the thing.
You know what would be funny though? If we ever had like, you know, a boy and a magical girl show, like where basically he's like, okay, time transform, and he thinks he's gonna get like a masculine version of like the magical girl's outfit, but he just wears another magical girl outfit with like a skirt and everything, and he's just like, wait, it didn't just no, and then he has to fight as the actual magical girl.
Yeah, either that or it's like quick, pick up the transformation device. Okay, fine, but there's no time to hand to me. I must use it myself, and then that becomes the whole thing. Either that or as some sort of diversion, because suddenly like the finger of suspicion is pointed at Matilda, and then you have to like actually have like the character appear like this. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of digging this outfit at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I just completely by accident love the ball gown. I guess I don't know.
I mean, she's fighting from range. It works.
Yeah, definitely.
And plus, she can use
but
the ball ground like a parachute as well. It's like, oh no, I'm falling from high distance. Ball gown drifting slowly down to the ground.
Oh yeah, we do actually have the character of Black Umbrella, and one of the things that he does is that he actually is able to use his umbrella as a parachute. Yeah.
She is kind of a princess. A Disney princess.
I'm wondering though, because now I'm thinking that power set again, it doesn't really have any reason to have a transformation attached to it. That's what I'm thinking something else has to be. I don't know, maybe instead of like light spectrum or something, we actually maybe her actual power is like mind over matter or something. So if she comes into contact with anything, like say her actual clothes, she can then use that to like actually transform into this outfit, which she just picked herself because she's really into princesses. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and no one's gonna suspect a thing.
I mean,
and that's like
I can see the first. Wait, what's the first
like
villain she's fighting? Her first villain looks at her like she's like, "Wait, what are you supposed to be?" Like, isn't it obvious? I'm like a princess magical girl thingy.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna make some like comments on like how this actually goes. At some point, there will be a transformation sequence that will be interrupted by just like a punch or something. Just like halfway through, it's been like, you're supposed to wait. Like, why would I do that? Either that or the transformation sequence, like it completes and then the villain's just gone. Has just left the premises.
Yes.
Okay. Again, like I said at the beginning of this stream, everything we end up doing is somehow commentary related. Like, there's got to be some sort of element of satire going in. It's it cannot be helped. It cannot be escaped. So yeah, fair enough. Maybe she's actually able to like, able to transform a few, like an item or something that she actually comes into contact with. That could work too. How does that tie into mutation origins as well?
It doesn't have to. I mean, maybe one of the superheroes can be mutation origins, but
well, remember this is partly based on like how far into the research of mutation theory they actually are. Oh, hang on a second. No. I've got it. Maybe what she actually they'd be because like the mutation is all about, you know, one thing being converted into another. They actually apply that, and somehow there was like they got somehow that ability is like I'm sort of getting like Generator Rex vibes now, actually, in terms of like what the Evos end up being, and how Rex was able to actually, you know, again manipulate them. So yeah, something like that, where it's like, I guess they extended the field from just the genetics into like the actual atoms themselves, and somehow managed to do that. So it becomes more of an atomic power, atomic princess. That's her that's a superhero name. That's a magical girl name or something. I don't know. Then again, actually, to be honest, if she does pick her own name, it would be something ridiculously childish, considering her age.
Atomic Princess of Death. I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe she picks like a really long name at first, and then like the media shortens it down to Atomic Princess, and that's what sticks. and then like as she gets older, she's like, yeah, that's me, Atomic Princess. I chose a name when I was 11. I was a dumb child. Okay. You know what? Let's go back to our script, which I haven't shown on screen for a while. Here is our title. Atomic Princess. I both hate and love it. Oh, actually, I'm gonna check to see if that's a thing first. Let me just make sure.
It shouldn't be a thing. I don't think so.
It's a song by The Goodbye Theory. There's like a modern cat art that's called like Atomic Princess Kitty. Oh, there's a book called Secrets of an Atomic Princess, but the actual name Atomic Princess applied to something doesn't appear to exist.
Yeah.
So that's good then. But let me check to see if there's anything else we need to add to her. Not really, no. Oh, actually, I mean, and also, I suppose technically, if she's like, you know, touching air particles, she could, in theory, I don't know, they could in theory try and concentrate and fashion something out of them, or actually use that to levitate. I don't know. The air moves around her. Yeah, that seems like it'd be like a power that could come from some form of genetics. Okay, so I guess now we're back to the story then. So we have that in mind. We have Matilda, you know, zooming in, doing her paper round and stuff. What then? How does that get triggered? That's the next question for the chat. So, what's her normal day like, and how does she discover that she has powers?
I mean, for maybe her powers can manifest in small ways at first when you think about it. It's like maybe her eyes, like, oh, wait, her eyes are the same color. Never mind. I was just thinking if her eyes were a different color. Playing pretend. That actually kind of works. The whole princess angle, where she's just like, I am a princess, and then transforms into a princess. I know it's like less action packed and less dramatic, but it's just like kind of a dumb way to get your powers.
I mean, that could work. I mean, to be honest, like, whoever her like, her best friend slash friends happen to be, or she's playing pretend with, possibly, could actually, that's when that's how the secret gets out at first. And it's like no one else can know about this, but you were literally right here, so we're gonna share this with each other. Maybe that's the character that becomes like the becomes like the magical boy later, and it's just that instead of like activating something separate, what happens is, I don't know, she just puts a hand on him, and he just like his clothes transform instead. It's like you couldn't have given me something else. Like, no, it has to be convincing. Now go. Okay, so that's sorted. Okay. Also, I imagine that if you want to go into like the cheesy magical girl realm, then she has to get like really into character and but also be like very very different in like in like regular like real life. So possibly she like suppresses that particular side of her where she see where maybe she feels like being too girly is not would be would be detrimental to her image or something. I don't know. But then Secret, she's like, no, but I still like princesses and stuff.
Mm-hmm. You know what would be an interesting moment though? What if someone jokingly ever asks her if are you the atomic princess? And like it's just jokingly asked, and then she gets all nervous and she's like, no, I gotta go, bye, and then she just runs away. And just like, that was weird.
Yeah, no, or they're just like casually discussing Atomic Princess at some point, and then just like it's like, hey, you know that thing that Atomic Princess did? It's like, I am not Atomic Princess. God, stop asking me that. It's like, I didn't say anything. Okay. All right. Nothing says friendship like dressing up as them for cover. You haven't seen my main series, The Musing Girl, but there is an anecdote from one of the boy characters where he does actually say that he spent an hour in booty shorts because his girl best friend forgot her PE kit and had to use his to get changed, so he had to anyway.
Oh yeah, by the way, you should totally check out the Mutant Girl. Go check out the Mutant Girl. I don't know. It's not linked in the description, but it's a voice acted Gacha. Yay!
Yeah, there was a little bit of an origin story at the beginning there. Yeah. Okay. For now, I guess we'll carry on here. So I guess she just zooms by and does that. Yeah. Either we see her go to school immediately after, because paper rounds tends to be like in the morning, or it's actually just like some other time. It's like it's the weekends.
I think it should be the weekend. I think it should just be a really casual moment, you know.
Okay, yeah, just going straight into it. That's fair. Yeah. Because then we probably won't have as much space to put everything in. So we'll go to the lady at full speed. Okay. At full speed, and it keeps running. I don't know.
Would they even use? Okay, this is just a futurist question. Would they even use newspapers? I mean, newspapers nowadays are pretty obsolete as is.
True.
So wouldn't it make more sense not to have the newspaper thing there? Because, like, the fact is that, like, it makes sense that maybe having a woman run by, but I don't know if newspapers should be super relevant age 2 wise. Like age 1 maybe, but age 2 I don't think it'd be that relevant.
Okay, how about this? It zooms by almost knocking the lady over.
Yeah.
And then if this is gonna be a comic, then we'll just have a go. Alright. I don't know what the equivalent of like off screen would be on here, so I don't know. Off page. There we go. That works. So then maybe just another bit of where there's like maybe like every time there's every time there's like a new line, we'll just say that's a new panel, so I don't have to write panel everything if they're doing it that way. Yeah.
Because I will say with the whole comic art style and stuff like that, I do worry with your writing style because I feel like when it comes
Hold
to
on
your
a second.
writing.
Hold on. Wait. Hold that thought. 1 sec. I'll be right back.
Okay, stream. Anyways, Fallen Angel. My voice actor got. No, I don't know. Oh, you disappeared for a minute and I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's because I was getting an announcement, which I thought I knew what the announcement was, and I was right. So I'm going to go ahead and deal with that for a second. You guys keep on discussing actually, because again, as far as the chat goes, keep that rolling. There's no reason to stop
Any
right now.
ideas, chat? Anything cool? Yes. Words.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, my brother's back from university right now. So. Oh.
Oh.
Well, that was fascinating then. Okay. Tense face of concentration as she runs. I mean, nothing says cliche anime opening like the character just like whizzing past 1,000 miles per hour.
Oh, is that another person?
Oh, hang on. Let me just see. Oh, no. This is the person who inspired this very stream format. Wipeout and Arena fan. And yeah, maybe I should do more of these types of things. Again, depends on how they perform. Because I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this will work. And of course, most likely this will be a much more boring form of replay than the usual stuff I do in terms of reviewing things. So we'll see. But yeah, Wipeout and Arena fan was the one who actually they do a bunch of these streams all the time where they'll be creating something and a new episode of a thing, and then everyone will be improving as their characters, which again will become increasingly easier once we actually have a few more of them established.
Yeah.
Like, for example, we're gonna have to deal with like who the best friend is in a second, actually. And that's another one. Okay. Still face of concentration as she runs. Okay, can't stop now. Yep. All right. From the same time zone. Yeah, yeah, guys, we need to. Can I just divert your attention to this particular thing because we need some ideas. So, just to go over it for Johnny who just appeared. Yeah, this is going to be a comic made from Gacha. We designed the main character and had the talk about different ideas and its process so far. So it's going to be a magical girl series that does have some ties to science because it's set in the Butterverse that has both of those things and often coincides. So we have that, and so what was I going to say? Yeah, we're currently trying to introduce the main character of the series, essentially, who is most likely a tomboy, but who secretly like is really like into princesses because the design that we made for the main for like the transform state looks like this. So yeah, again, that's to cover up the tracks. No one will suspect anything. At least that's the idea anyway. But right now she's on her way to actually have a good old make believe session with her best friend, who most likely absolutely knows what she's like. So that could work. And yeah, you should have, and Josh got carried away. So yeah, the idea right now, I guess we're like working towards like getting to the actual site wherever they actually go. I would guess I would guess probably either the best friend's house or like a park somewhere. I think the house actually, you know, just to cover the grounds and make sure, because again, no one can know. No one can know that I'm into this stuff. My image, my reputation shall be tarnished forever. So yeah, suggestion they go to that house. But yeah, so I guess once I get to that point, I will be asking people for other ideas of the best friend. The only thing that we have so far is that the best friend is male. That's it. So, name and age between 11 and 12 because, they'll be going to school together and such. Either that or maybe like one is slightly older or slightly younger, but they just happen to have been like childhood friends because I don't know, maybe they have that connection. So, yeah, Matilda is 11 and a half. And I'm sorry to hear about your Wi-Fi, by the way. Matilda's 11 and a half, but the best friend, I guess, depends on what you actually go with. So yeah, so that's my new chat mission, which is name, age, possibly some physical traits, but mainly character traits. So go ahead. Oh, there we go. Exactly like this. So should be named Max and he's 13. Okay. Fair enough. Might be a yeah. Might definitely also be an older brother figure, honestly. If they've got 2 years difference, most likely. Either that or we just have to have an early birthday and there's like a 1 year difference, but she's 11 and a half. She'll be turning 12 soon. So, yeah, I can go with that. Also, this would be thought. Oh, and that's a shot of Max's house. And Max awaits. Okay, so scene 4. Oh, and yeah, if we're gonna switch around, so like, every time that I press enter, that's a new panel of this comic, which it is a thing now. Yeah. Lap's completely out of breath. All right. Let's see what you're all saying. Oh, and there's no new chat updates, so okay. I need to keep saying things out loud. I had a talk with BB recently. Apparently BB tends to say like everything that she types out loud, and I normally only do that when I'm on camera and people can't see what I'm saying. So then I'll just like read it out so people will just know that I'm not just completely ignoring them. I sometimes will go silent when I'm writing on Google Docs with Aiden. And yeah, reason for that is because I actually have is because I'm just, suddenly laser focused and engrossed in whatever is going on. So yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah. But obviously he knows that I can do it because I've got Google Docs roaming. So I guess the way I can zoom in. Maybe I should zoom this in so people can see it a little bit more. Oh, see, you got the right idea right there. Perfect. I think yeah. Well, I mean, obviously you inspired the format, so you know exactly how this goes. Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, you got the format. Okay. Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're all doing well. I'm gonna do what Wipeout does and type this up later, or well, yeah, let this play out. It's good we've got a scene going. I see my breathful song. I'm just tired. And Max is like, yeah, well, it's like, are you sure you didn't just run here? Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the pros know what they're doing. All right, just to remind everyone, yeah, the objective of this scene is that they will eventually head on upstairs to Max's room, and there will where they will actually, start playing make believe. Matilda will probably make sure that no one can hear anything. It's like, are you sure no one's going to hear this? Because she's so embarrassed of. She's so embarrassed of her inner child, and she's only 11. Fair. Okay, hang on. I would say here, if she's that embarrassed, she definitely would be like, shh, don't say anything, don't say that out loud. It's like, it's just my mum at home. She knows. It's like, yeah, but still. The walls have ears or something like that. It'll definitely become more apparent once, everything's set. But let me just start typing up some of this stuff. Another thing I'll do is I'll go back to here and see if I can actually separate this out into different panels. I group these together maybe if yeah, if they're different panels, I can just group them like that. Makes more sense. Okay. Again, I went very silent there. How are you getting along? Wait, what have they done in the past to make so I don't have to repeat anything? Well, again, maybe I just invented them today, but in the past, what we've had so far is that um, Matilda outwardly appears to be like your stereotypical tomboy almost, and that's kind of her image that she's molded and seems to be like what garners her, I guess, respect. But she actually like really secretly like still has this part of her personality that she's held on to from when she was an even younger child because she is still a child, um, and that's why she's embarrassed of it. But Max, who has known her, you know, all of their collective lives, um, has actually what did they? Oh, right. Well, we don't really have anything yet. There's most likely there will be most likely Matilda will be maybe living as a princess for like the millionth time. So any sort of continuation from that, I don't know if Max would be the knight if he is I don't know a different visiting prince or something like that. No idea. He could even be the father or something. And it just so happens that on this day, something that Matilda says and imagines actually ends up manifesting in her arms somehow. I don't know. There we go. Oh wait, you two have swapped characters now. I mean, fair enough. Go for it. Oh, I didn't realize, Ghosty, you're here. Oh yeah, normally whenever you show up in these things, you end up clawing your way in. Just realized this is kind of like with Afmal playing ponies with Zane, essentially. Just I've reversed it. I am adding a couple more things just to, embellish what's already there. I should really put some music on, actually. Just while this is going on, because, there's not really... Everyone's gonna, drop off at this point in the stream. Oh, future pop. Perfect. Set in the future. Hang on. Da da la 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 la. Okay, yeah, it's still working. All right, let's see. get into this music actually. Okay. Okay, let's see what's been happening here. Oh, you love Aphmau. Sorry, I completely forgot that. Yeah, you haven't seen any of my Aphmau streams yet, have you? That is like 50% of my usual content output, actually. I will say. Yeah, Aphmau is definitely my favorite. Start off with this Max part. Open up in media res, as they say. Hmm. Let's see. You should protect me as I travel to the village. Okay. I'm supposed to avoid coughing into this microphone, otherwise it'll damage itself. Right. Have I got any? Nope. Empty. Okay. Oh, so Matilda grabs a fruit basket from... Okay. Okay, let's see. All right. By the way, remember, this is all supposed to be leading up to Matilda actually conjuring something for the first time. And that being the whole catalyst for like, you know, testing new powers and stuff. So we don't need this thing to go on forever, essentially. Also, I think I'm going to take out the part about becoming a knight, because again, the whole point is that she's meant to be using her like secret, like quote unquote girly side. So it kind of is weird if it's like the classic defying of a stereotype, while at the same time you're already in real life doing that. You know. Hmm. Okay, so she conjures the staff, but it seems weird she would, like, do that right before. There's no context as to why she would do that at a food shop. Hold on a second. Oh, I got this. I know how to fix this. Okay, there we go. Now we have a thing. Right. Otherwise, why would she conjure a scepter in the middle of a food shop? Right. Okay, here we go. Back to you guys. Oh, come on. We need to scroll to make it at some point here. And also, yeah, Novely, do go ahead and offer suggestions, it's fine. We're about to get to the end of this part anyway, because I don't imagine the scene will go on for too much longer. Oh, as for this, you're in a different position now to what you're used to. You're used to being like the one who's like in control on your own channel and like having final say, and you know the characters well enough and everything. That's why it's a little bit different when you like have somebody else who's taking those reins, I guess. It's not necessarily a matter of being a good or bad writer. It's just, again, this is literally the first time. I imagine that whenever you first started doing these improv stuff, these things on your channel, it didn't go too smoothly overall. Maybe it did, I don't know. Possibly. Okay, yeah, that's fine. You can stop there. All right. I mean, we have been going for 3 hours, guys, so we can actually stop there. I mean, I haven't actually had any food yet, so we can leave it here and come back some other time, some other. Oh, you're gonna. Okay, fine. I guess if we're going, then we'll do that. Okay. I might pop by. I might not. It depends, because again, I can't really contribute too much to yours because you've already got such a huge lore. But now that I think about it, that might be a hindrance. People are coming into this. All right, then I suppose, yeah, we'll do that here. So yeah, I guess in that case, thanks everyone for joining. We'll continue this at a later point. Please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters, and subscribe if you've not done so already. And yeah, we'll do this some other time. And yeah, give you a chance to come up with other ideas and stuff. Maybe I'll come up with some more ideas now that I've got a bit more of a direction thanks to this. So yeah, go ahead, like and subscribe and, all that fun stuff. And yeah, on that note, until next time, farewell. Tomorrow there'll be an Aphmau stream, or Aphmau VOD. All right, so yeah. All right. Oh, by the way, yeah, Josh, if Lockjaw is live right now, yeah, tell him I've got an Aphmau VOD tomorrow, so might be more his thing. So yeah, okay, for real this time. On that note, until next time, farewell.